Wimboe, oh 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 Wimboe.
What you people are not gonna do is disrespect my favorite fucking movie.
That's your favorite movie or your favorite Disney movie?
No, that's my favorite movie
of all time.
That shit is about me.
That's crazy.
Fuck you saying?
You said it's about you?
Yes, I am a prince. The fuck?
So you came right
there
out
was
of...
too much silence.
Right out of,
I don't
right out of hand.
Fuck y'all niggas.
I mean, like, did you watch the movie? Do you know what happened?
Yeah, I don't think you've ever had the trials and tribulations of young Simba.
What? That's me. Nigga,
you're young Simba? You ain't J. Cole.
I saw my... Alright. Yeah, John has been disqualified from the Do Not Disturb podcast.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because I said he who shall not be named in front of Bris.
Anyway,
Jesus, Bris is Voldemort over here.
Yo.
That was a little more chipper than usual.
No, it was a little more annoying than
right? Somebody's happy today.
We got drops too. You feel me? I'm doing a drop right now.
You're doing a drop, but you can hear it because you're the cool guy with the headphones on.
Well, once I get the splitter, I'll get headphones for everybody.
Oh, you're such a nice guy.
But now we doing it big right now. The audience obviously can't see us, but you know we all individually have our own mics.
Yeah. You're not gonna have to blast your car radios to hear Bris break it down.
Facts. You'll be able to hear her straight.
And then the sound of my piercing laughter makes you turn the volume down. I know.
But yeah, you will still be able to hear Mac's uncontrollable voice in high definition.
In HD.
It's so dusty. Can you stop? All right, we're almost like a whole minute into the intro, so
it's fine. So then, why don't you introduce the podcast?
All right, so everybody, welcome back to the Do Not Disturb podcast. I'm Chris, along with just Mac and Banano, the God today. Chin is missing in action or missing in not action. I'm not sure what that nigga does.
Missing in not action.
I don't know.
Wow.
I don't know what that nigga be.
So that means he's missing and doing nothing. Is that what it is?
You know what? Sometimes
to accomplish that, to be acknowledged for the amount of nothing you've accomplished, that's quite something.
Sounds like D Trizzy. Anyway,
listen, I'm not gonna let you gang up on my man since he's not here.
I mean, you know, we'll see him when we see him in 2 weeks, a month.
No, we're gonna see him on Saturday. This will come out after Saturday, but
yeah, okay,
yeah, we'll definitely have a surprise party for him on Saturday. Okay. I'll say it. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah, because he's not gonna hear it until
he's not even gonna hear it when it's out.
He's gonna be like, "Yo,
facts,
I heard that episode last week. I finally heard it today.
It was, bro, that episode came out like 3 years ago.
Whoa, that's crazy. I'm late.
It's like, damn,
what do we have on the schedule today, guys?
On the addendum,
you know what we're talking about. I asked you before we left. The Treaty of Versailles. Where we were talking about our predictions for the Avengers Endgame.
That's crazy. I was right.
And now that we've all seen the movie, and the three of us that are here are the three that went to see the movie, and we saw it on opening night, congratulations. Yo, do the round of applause. Don't you clap in real life when we have drops?
Hold up.
Can you please?
Oh, I gotta raise this volume.
Make it entertaining enough for the listeners, please.
Round of applause.
They deserve to hear the round of applause.
I should get a special round of applause because I don't go to the movies.
You don't go to the movies? No, but you went to the movies to see Avengers.
Yeah, I'm not a movie person.
Yeah,
that's good. I'll take that as a compliment that you went to go see the Avengers and you don't really go watch movies. It was so worth those 3 hours.
No, let's just deep dive.
It was a very big payoff. Okay, so before we say anything about the movie, if you haven't watched the movie by now, you're extremely late. You're extremely late, and you should have already watched the movie by now. So we're gonna talk about our takes, and we're gonna spoil the movie. I don't know if we'll put a timestamp for after the Avengers conversation for anybody that wants to skip it. We're not gonna give them a timestamp for them. Okay, that's fine.
We're gonna listen until this point.
I was trying to be nice. It's fine. So we're not
timestamp.
All right, never mind. Oh my goodness!
What's wrong with this guy?
It's the money to type.
Yes. Oh man, for the timestamp.
Type the timestamp.
I didn't know we did that.
Yeah, I was gonna say who did we hire for that?
I didn't know we did
Nigga, me. Anyway,
all right.
So yeah, Avengers.
Let's dive right in.
Before we
I'll go last. You tell me.
Before we dive in,
and y'all be like, before we dive in.
I just wanted to do the spoiler alert.
I want everybody to rate it. What do you rate it, John?
Out of what? Give me your scale.
1 to 10.
What other scale?
1 to 10. It could be 1 out of 5. 1 to 5. It could.
1 to 10, bro. The normal American scale.
The normal American scale of rating everything. 1 to 10.
Doing a metric system.
You could have been like, yo, do you give it 5 stars?
Fair to well done.
But yeah, 1 to 10, John.
It's really hard for me to rate anything a 10.
Oh my god!
How are you going to ask? How are we?
Bro, I'm just asking. I don't want a deep dive in on your rating.
No, I'm just saying.
Rate it 1 to 10, so we can.
I want to give it a 10, but I'm gonna give it a 9 because there were a few things that I have to go back and rewatch to reevaluate and kind of because I've watched it a few times already.
How many times?
A few.
I mean, I think a few is like 3 or more.
Yo, you know a nigga seen it like 10 times when he says, you ask him how many, he says a few.
A few is 3
Twice.
or more.
A few.
Sure.
He saw it like at least 10. That's fine.
A few times. So I'm still like
this nigga watched
as many times
10 hours of film.
He was the 1.2 billion over the weekend.
As much as I've watched it, every time I rewatch the movie, I'm hearing new things and seeing new things as I look for certain details. So I'm not really done grading this. So I'll just say 9 because I don't want to give anything a 10 out of 10. That's a little too gratuitous.
That nigga is ripping out of his shirt. Anyway, I'm sorry.
Maggie's over here watching commercials.
The game is on. But okay, Bris, what did you rate it? You said a 9?
I said 9. Yeah, 9 out of 10.
Bris, what did you rate it?
Okay, as someone who's only seen maybe like 3 of the MCU movies.
Shameful.
I mean, I'm not a movie person, so
Shameful.
Hey.
I feel you. Ooh.
So
shame on dishonor on you.
Look, I didn't,
dishonor.
What I didn't do is waste like a billion minutes of my life.
It's not a waste. I promise you, it's a good time.
But
some of those movies could go in the trash. But anyway,
I'm gonna give it like
Thor 2.
I'll give it a 9.
I give it a 9 also. Okay.
Damn, I'm the only one with the low rating.
With a low rating? Okay,
Yeah.
Give me your rating.
6.5.
6.5. Okay, that's cool. So
Yeah.
I would love to hear your opinion first.
Let me just get right into it. Shit was too long. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
It didn't. I don't think it needed to be 3 hours.
What would you have taken out in order to shorten it? What do you think we could have dealt without?
They didn't have to show us how they got all the Infinity Stones back.
But that in and of itself, the time heist was the story.
I don't think they should have. I don't know how to explain.
What would you have cut down? Like maybe specific scenes?
It would have been the time heist. Like they could have showed Scarlett Johansson dying. She's an important character, so yes, we should see that.
We did see it. We just didn't see the moment she hit the ground.
Well, that's what I'm saying. But they could have shown that scene. That's fine. I'm not gonna lie.
It's still a Disney movie.
I was in. That's very true. I was in. Yeah, they never really. Anyway,
it's still a Disney movie.
I was in and out of the movie. I ain't gonna front. I kind of fell asleep in the middle.
You're bugging.
Yo, because I think I had a little too much. I had some gin and tonic.
Oh my god!
Why.
And you went to a late showing also
at 10:15. A bad
because you were getting in when like I was wrapping up the movie because we had gotten there at like 5:30.
Jesus, yeah, I got the only one that
we closed the barbershop early to get there.
Oh Jesus Christ!
Damn.
Yeah, no, we all went as a shop. It was dope.
Yeah, I watched. I mean, it wasn't like I said. It wasn't a bad movie because the beginning and the ending, the fight scenes were powerful, amazing. I would never.
So you enjoyed the climax of the film?
I enjoyed everything about it except for the middle part, in which is the time heist, which is when I fell asleep.
Which is the second act of the movie. Because
bro, the last thing I remember was before falling asleep was Captain America and Iron Man were arguing about the time heist. They finally Ant-Man finally came, and I said Ant-Man was going to save the day, and he did. Ant-Man came and said, yo, I can time travel or whatever. Boom, they start time traveling. They go in for the fists, and I saw something about when they went in for the fist in the circle, that was Iron Man's heart.
It was supposed to look like his original
nigga, whoever said that shit, shut the fuck up.
No, this is people looking for symbolism that's not there.
Yeah, no, shut up. So, but yeah, what was the next part? Where was I going? So that was the last thing I remember seeing. That I woke up, I saw who was it? What was it?
Hawkeye.
Hawkeye and
who's Ronin at that point. Yeah.
Hawkeye and Scarlett Johansson, they were fighting, correct?
They were fighting they were basically like keeping each other from
dying. But one of them had to die, and they chose Scarlett Johansson, which is fine. I fell asleep again.
She chose herself.
Then I wake up, and Captain America is fighting Thanos. And that shit was amazing.
Wow.
Yeah, that's why I woke up.
So
then how can you say that you want to take that part out of the movie? You didn't watch it.
Because any movie that makes me fall asleep, in my head, I'm gonna think it's not a good movie.
I mean,
the only movies that I've fallen asleep in are like Superman movies.
Did you fall
because those
asleep
are
in The
always
Dark Knight?
Crap. Hell no. Great movie. Great film.
No, that's one of my favorite movies of all time.
One of the greatest movies of all time to me.
Which Dark Knight?
The Dark Knight, not the Dark Knight.
The one with Heath Ledger.
The Dark Knight.
Okay. No, because some people.
Christian Bale and Heath Ledger.
Yeah. That's fine.
Great movie. Yeah,
I agree.
Are we arguing?
No.
Great movie.
I don't disagree with you.
I didn't fall asleep. I have the movie. I have it on.
It's also not as
illegally
long.
downloaded.
And it's also its own contained story and does not conclude a 22 film like
I don't think
episodic storyline.
I still stand, even though you could say I didn't. You could say I didn't really watch the film because I fell asleep through the middle of it. Blah blah blah. All I'm saying is that
I don't think you can say that.
Fuck all those people. Who say that. All I'm saying is, if they could have cut that shit down into 2 hours and two and a half hours.
How would you have, made the story work, knowing that like time traveling was like the bulk of, how they even got to, fight Thanos and bring all of the Avengers.
Wait, so
and all of them back.
All right, just explain one thing to me. How did Thanos, and this is a spoiler alert, obviously. How did Thanos come back to life after they killed him in the first scene? Like, Thor cut his head off after that nigga was being a simple farmer.
I'm not just a simple farmer.
Because he was plucking fruit with his burnt gauntlet hand.
My nigga was farming yam and
cabbage and carrots.
You feel me? And then Thor come in like the fucking police and chop this nigga head off.
I went for the head.
Yeah, like, Thor, relax. We was chopping up with old boy. You want to come and kill him.
So you're telling me the beginning of the movie made you feel slightly sympathetic towards Thanos because of where we see him at that moment?
I just thought, not sympathetic. I thought it was just funny because.
Okay.
I mean, granted, I haven't read the comics, but I've done a lot of research online, and I know that after the universe
snaps, yeah.
He goes and becomes a farmer. But I didn't think that they were gonna do that shit in the movie. When I saw this nigga in a little hut, chilling, becoming a simple farmer, like, come on, son. He was a union farmer.
He's living his life. He wanted to eliminate half the universe so the people left over could enjoy the resources the universe had to offer.
Is that really worth it? Like, he just has hella grass, like hella crops.
And lonely. And it's not like he had some bitches with him. He was by himself.
Yeah, because he carried the burden.
He didn't have Bud.
Stupid. So. All right, so you weren't a big fan. It was a little too long for you, and it just didn't captivate you. Did you feel the same way about Infinity War?
Infinity War was good.
Infinity War was a little bit more action based. This was a little bit more emotional of a film.
Yeah, I think with Infinity Wars, I guess it was more so like they got right to what the story was about. I think within the first 30 minutes of the film,
they had to establish a lot of information. Yes, right.
Which was good because
they did good.
It kept me in tune. It kept me interactive with what was
the characters, and it keeps jumping between what
it was just
different
so many
characters
things
are
were
doing
going on,
times,
but it just all kind of blended together. Where okay, this is not boring. Whereas Infinity Wars in the beginning. We see it starts out with Iron Man and I don't remember
Nebula. You mean Endgame? Yeah.
Oh, Endgame. Sorry.
Yeah,
Endgame. It started with Iron Man,
and Nebula.
Iron Man and Nebula chilling in
drifting through space because there's no more fuel for the spaceship. Yeah.
Basically, and then finally Captain Marvel comes and saves them. I think what kind of fucked me up though was the fact that I never watched Captain Marvel as well.
Yeah, there's a lot of cool information that we get.
Yeah, I don't understand. Did Captain Marvel come right after Captain America, or
no?
Like
so
in the timeline?
No. So Captain America is still the first entry in the timeline. Captain Marvel takes place in the early 90s. And it's supposed to be when Nick Fury is like not where he is, where we see him in Iron Man. He's not the director of S.H.I.E.L.D. He's working for S.H.I.E.L.D.
Okay.
So we see him like training his rookie, who's Agent Coulson.
Oh, they made the show about her.
About him. That's Coulson, the white guy from
from Marvel.
From Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
Yeah,
right.
so he was from the movies, and they gave him his own show. Okay. So they show the two of them kind of like what their job looks like when they're
Agent Carter. Sorry.
Yeah, when they interact with Brie Larson's Captain Marvel. So I mean, it gives you a lot of background information as to like where she came from, why she's as powerful as she is, and you get to see her figure out that she even has all that power in the first place. Okay. Which is,
we're not going to do
cool.
that here. But.
Yeah, that was literally the only summary I was going to give you about it. It's just it's cool that they didn't over abuse the Captain Marvel thing, and I'll go into that when I talk about my thing. I think
that was dope too, because she was gone for like a good period of the movie.
Yeah, because they want you to know that she's focused in space. Not until we get into the next phase of Marvel, we're not going to see much of her. Now that we're done, now that Endgame is done, then they're going to focus on what she's doing.
Okay. In the next Avengers.
In the next phase of the Marvel Universe. Okay. We don't know if they're going to do more Avengers movies. They may come out with the new Avengers, which is an actual thing.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I read some of the comics, got some of them here. But yeah, I mean, overall, I'll give it like a 7. The movie was good, but it just was too long.
Okay.
I don't think a movie needs to be 3 hours. Not that it wasn't, and it's not even about not being action packed. I think it was just the fact of the time traveling. Like, you could have shortened that whole. The time traveling took like at least an hour itself. You could have shortened that into like 30 minutes, 35 minutes. Mm-hmm. I believe. Yeah, that's basically it for it.
Cool.
That's all I have to say about that.
Cool. We can, Bris.
What did you feel about Endgame?
What's your take on the movie?
So I only saw Infinity War in full maybe like 2 weeks before I saw Endgame. So like I had like a fresh like memory of
the events that happened beforehand. Yeah.
And considering like how much action there was in Infinity War versus how much action that there was in Endgame, there was a considerable less amount in Endgame for as much time that it was.
That has passed.
I do think that I'm not gonna say that I would chop the time travel down because it is an integral part to the whole entire plot of how the whole fight scene came to be, which was fantastic in my opinion. But I do think there were a lot of like appeals to emotion that I think they could have cut out. Like I feel like they could have probably cut out when Captain America was at that meeting. I feel like they could have cut out that. It was like towards the beginning. Meeting? It was like in the beginning. It was like he was sitting in some. It looked like an AA meeting, but I don't think it was. But
what do we do? What do we do from here?
Yeah, like I don't think that necessarily could have been the whole. I feel like the whole scene with the Hulk was kind of like, like when he was
Hulk out.
Yeah, yo, this nigga was handsome Hulk.
That's Professor Hulk.
Literally, he was Celebrity Hulk.
That's Professor Hulk, man.
I was just like, I guess maybe that's just my ignorance of not really knowing like truly what these characters are.
It's because you don't have a relationship to them. That was the equivalent of me watching last week's episode of Game of Thrones and having no context of how any of those characters got to that point, or why Arya is such a big deal in the first place. Like I don't have that context.
Miss Arya, bad bitch Stark, we out here, we see you, mama.
So I got to enjoy that moment with the fandom. Right. I want to say for Game of Thrones, and that was cool just to experience what made them super happy.
And just like I felt about Endgame,
I can understand where you're coming from.
Right, like Marvel, like the whole lead up to Endgame took 11 years, you know, like, I was never a part of that. It's not because I'm not into superheroes, it's just because I'm not into movies. Like, it takes a lot for me to really want to go even explore a movie.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, like, I'm very, very, like...
How much did this movie do? $1 billion a week?
1.2 billion in one weekend.
But I will
domestically, not worldwide.
I will say that watching it, I honestly didn't feel like it was a 3-hour movie. Like, to me, I was invested the entire time.
Yeah, I agree.
It didn't feel like it was 3 hours. I'd say it felt about maybe like 2:15, 2:30 max. But if there was any part where I felt like, you know, all right, let's speed this up, let's get this back up, the fight scene, you know, just made up for all of that. Especially, you know, I did a little bit of research before I went into Endgame, and, you know, just seeing how all of the characters went back, seeing the groupings that they brought back out when they did. Yeah. Even, you know, when even when Captain America finally, said Avengers Assemble, you know.
That's Hey Arnold.
Like, the joy that, you know, the fans, the true fans had hearing Captain America say Avengers Assemble, like, that was great. Seeing, you know, Captain America get the hammer, that was a great moment. You know, seeing Iron Man do the snow, it was just a lot of things that I was like, you know what? I can't call myself a fan. Well, he moved in
one of the other movies, right? Captain America?
No, he tried to. So in the second, in the second Avengers, Steve Rogers tries to pick up Thor's hammer while they're all drinking, like, so they're hanging out and kind of getting to know each other a little bit. And the hammer's just sitting there, and they all give it a shot to try to lift the hammer. And so when Steve lifts it moves slightly, but he can't lift it. He can't pick it up. It isn't until that moment at the end of Endgame that he becomes worthy.
And hearing like the crowd reaction around it, how happy people were that moment came. Like, even as somebody that's not a fan,
that's
like the fan reaction behind some of these moments reaffirmed that something good was happening. So it's not like I was watching something and the people who actually are fans are like, well, what the fuck is this? You know, like, I heard positive like affirmations while the movie was going on.
Yeah, people
like,
excited.
Spider-Man came back in, everybody was, obviously I know that Spider-Man is such a beloved character. Like, when he came in, I was like, whoa. When he got the hammer, everybody was like, whoa. When, you know, what's it called? When Thanos didn't have the Infinity Gauntlet and you saw Iron Man have it, everybody was like, whoa. It was just a lot of stuff. Yeah. And then, you know, leading up to the funeral scene, the one thing, I was talking to my coworkers, the one thing that I do wish that they did, which would have been really, really cool, is if that was Stan Lee's cameo. If he was in the funeral scene. It would have been a little eerie because he did pass. But I feel you know, Iron Man, I don't know if Iron Man was the first MCU movie?
Yeah, the very first MCU movie.
So I figured that if, you know, your first character that you're making your movie off of is the character that passes, I feel like that would have been a cool cameo. But as a whole, I think the movie looked great. I think that, you know, the wit was there. Fat Thor was great. Like, I mean, it was a good movie, especially, you know, somebody who's not knowledgeable in MCU. I had a good time with it.
That's good. No, that's awesome. That's awesome. That's dope. I mean, I won't over analyze this movie to death.
That could take a whole episode in itself.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna do that. I promise. But no, I thoroughly enjoyed the movie. It did a great job closing out a ton of character arcs that we had for our main Avengers characters. We saw, you know, Tony's arc completely start and finish, and what a finish. We saw Steve Rogers, Captain America's arc come to a close. I mean, he doesn't die.
He doesn't die.
Yeah, but he's died with us. R.I.P.
Okay, he's not an Avenger anymore.
Hold on, time out. Let's talk. I was right
about
who was gonna die.
You said Iron Man.
I definitely said Iron Man.
Didn't I say Iron Man?
I said Iron Man and Captain America.
Oh, you said both.
I said both. I said if not one, both would be finished. Like no more. And you have no idea how happy I was.
That you were
to
correct.
see old Captain America there just sitting on the stoop or whatever that shit was.
The bench.
Bro, I'm tired of that nigga, bro.
Why?
Son, he reminds me of Superman. And I hate Superman.
But he retired, so you don't have to worry about him anymore.
That's why I'm happy. But he gave...
Now we have Black Captain America.
God forbid. No,
it's not God forbid. It's happening. And it happens in the comics, too. Falcon becomes the next Captain America.
That nigga Falcon did not want that shit at all. You can see in his face when he took the...
It was like, Bucky, if you don't come take this shit.
He said, yo, Bucky, you know this nigga for a longer than me.
And then when he gave him that final head nod, he was damn.
I'm gonna make you proud. Fuck out of here, bro.
Anyway, so we saw a lot of conclusions to some really dope characters. I mean, we saw a semi-conclusion for a story arc about Thor. You know, now that Thor is going to be traveling with the Guardians of the Galaxy.
And he gave
so he's going to be in Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
He's going to be in Guardians of the Galaxy 3 for sure.
That's tough. Facts.
Yeah.
He has this other movie coming out.
Men in Black International.
Yeah, Men in Black with the girl that plays Valkyrie with Tessa Thompson. Yeah.
You know how we feel about Tessa.
I like Tessa Thompson. You don't like Tessa Thompson?
I like Tessa Thompson. It's just people were saying that she was something that she wasn't. But that's neither here nor there.
Y'all are rude. Anyway, continue.
That's neither here nor there. Well, Tessa, we love you, friend of the show.
Yes. Hopefully, friend of the show.
Please, friend of the show.
I know I'm medium ugly. It's okay. Like
medium ugly.
It's fine.
What are you, a steak now? Medium rare?
Y'all are so negative.
Hold on. I got something for you, nigga.
Y'all are so negative.
I got something for you. Hold up.
I don't know. You looking at basketball. I don't know what you're doing over there. Okay, cool. I'll hear that when I'm cool enough for headphones.
Yeah,
I'll hear that. So I enjoyed the conclusion of all those character arcs. I mean, you know, Thor kind of listening to what his mom said in the movie and deciding to be who he is rather than who he's supposed to be, which is the king of Asgard, but he wants to be himself, who's Thor.
That's such a Disney ass ending, though.
You know, I mean, like it's cool because we could tell from the very first movie that Thor was not going to be a great king.
Damn.
He wasn't going to be a good king. He was very irrational. He had a lot of learning to do in the first movie. In the second movie, he's very naive to a lot of things, and very reactive instead of proactive. And then in Thor Ragnarok, he's just he learns more about himself
and
through his loses an eye and loses majority of his people. So there's a lot going on with his character arc. So I think it's cool that now he's whole. And he's able to transition. I thought they included everybody's characters well. I was surprised by Natasha dying.
For those of you who aren't fans of MCU like I was and had to like research all these people, that's Black Widow.
Black Widow. Yeah. So I was very surprised. I wasn't expecting her to die. Yeah, we can take the shot.
It's getting warm.
While I'm talking, it's cool. Interrupt the long-winded guy.
Facts.
Glug glug.
Go, yeah, hurry up with your long-windedness.
Fuck.
But it was dope. It was really dope. I usually cry during like sad moments. Surprisingly, I didn't cry during Tony's death.
I don't think it was a very sad death.
I wanted to cry but didn't.
I don't think it was a sad death. It was very honorable.
I feel like I was content. Yeah. With what Tony did. I think I was more moved by Pepper when she told him like we're gonna be okay. I didn't think that anybody would choose to include dialogue in those moments. A lot of directors choose to leave those character death moments in silence, right? So the fact that she gave him closure in the last moments of his life and said we're gonna be okay.
Yeah, but it's it's because it's oh shit.
It's sorry. Because
it's Robert Downey Jr. Like he's like one of the greatest actors of our generation. I'm sorry.
What I will say is that he had one of the biggest 180 transformations for an actor of our generation. Like, he was like 100% blackballed by Hollywood. Like, people did not want to hire him. Like,
he's a dick.
He had gone off the rails. He was an alcoholic. He was abusing stuff, and but he turned himself around, and he's given thanks to Iron Man's character and the MCU for revitalizing his desire and love to do what it is that he does, and he's been able to come back from all of that. But I think that the movie answered a lot of questions. It raises a ton of questions, but it answered a lot of questions, and they did a really good job with the time travel stuff. Usually when people try to explain time travel, they do a terrible job at it. This was interesting.
No, I agree. I think the way they explain time travel, that you'd have to become very, very small in subatomic space in order to travel back in time, was dope. Because most times they tell you, we have to create some stupid cunt-flabbit machine to take you back to time and shit like that, where, no, nigga, we just gonna make you be really, really little and you'll be able to go back in time. I thought that was cool.
Yeah, I mean, because scientists have been realistically trying to figure out what time looks like in a microscopic, universe, essentially. Like, would you move slower, you know what I'm saying? And does that affect time and the way your body perceives time? It's crazy. Quantum physics in real life is very head scratching. Astrophysics is also very head scratching.
Alright, yeah, so I'm sorry to cut you off short.
No, it's cool. I enjoyed the film.
This for 30 minutes.
I enjoyed the movie.
So it's like half the podcast, and we have mad other, not mad other shit, but I know we have a couple other things
move on
to talk about. Plus we have the songs that we listen to. I'm in love with your nigga. We have a couple songs that we need to listen. We need to talk about too, as well as we didn't even write out the songs that we're gonna send today. It's fine. We'll do that. We can pause and then we'll just cut and then we'll do it again.
Yeah, and then we can check back in.
But what was the next thing? So let's keep on movies, right?
Go.
Movies. So Lion King is coming out soon. I know people are gonna go see that.
Yeah, I do want to see that.
Are people gonna see? Are we gonna see Aladdin? Is that something we're gonna do? I wasn't gonna see it either.
I will try. I think
if I don't have to see it, I'm not gonna go see it.
Look, I love Aladdin, but
good off Will Smith.
Yeah, I love Will Smith, but I'm not with him playing Genie. Like, he had very, very big shoes to fill, and that's just.
I'm super good off Will Smith. Right? I'm not. I don't front.
I don't know if Sirmata wants to see Aladdin, then I'm going to see Aladdin.
Oh yeah.
But I know she's already expressed to me that The Lion King is a must see.
Must.
When is that coming out?
I don't remember.
June? I got time. I can save money.
Yeah, you could save money.
We lit. Okay, so, but that's not why I wanted to go on movies.
So no Aladdin.
No Aladdin, but we're gonna see Lion King.
Lion King.
You know what I've noticed though? I wanted to talk about this too. I've noticed that remember when we were growing up, they made a lot of animated movies.
Yes.
And now they're making a lot of live action movies.
Yes.
How do you guys feel about that?
I mean,
this is before we go into Sonic. That's why I wanted to.
All right, then I'll say my opinion.
Because I remember growing up, we had Finding Nemo, Shark Tale, Shrek, Cars, all those
Disney and Pixar studios putting out a lot of things.
All of them, they put out all around the same time, right? And now,
to a degree, yeah.
Now we got what do you call it? I mean, the Avengers. We have.
All of the Disney movies are just
all the Disney movies are becoming live action movies. Aladdin, Lion King. We have a fucking live action Dora the Explorer. What the fuck is going on?
Yeah, they do.
And Diego's in the movie.
Yeah, he is.
With boots.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck is going on?
Yeah.
So I just want to know how you guys feel about that. Like, I think it's just funny, and it's like I've just been paying attention to some of the things that have been going on. Like, I think it's just funny that when we were growing up we had cartoons, and now the kids today have live action movies. Like, how do you guys feel about that?
I personally saw it coming. I mean, as technology and all of your softwares advance, CGI just gets better. So I mean, I saw something like this coming, especially when a huge animated heavy companies such as Disney started to transform into more live action sort of things, such as Pirates of the Caribbean, and now all of like the Avenger movies and stuff like that. It seems like just the next thing to do. Like in 2019, we already had 3 Disney animated movies that are going live action.
Exactly. So you're contributing. Sorry, you're contributing.
What's the third one that I'm missing? Dumbo. Yes, you're right.
That
Dumbo.
came out already.
Yeah, Dumbo.
No, it didn't come out yet.
Yeah,
did it come out already?
It came out. Yeah, I could have sworn it came out.
Oh crap! I missed that.
So you're contributing. Fucking Henny. you're contributing this to. I had to say it slow.
There you go.
To the fact that technology.
I think it's just advancement in the times.
Yeah.
Like,
okay.
It's especially if like the company behind it doesn't get new ideas for movies. Like, you can't just do like a whole bunch of Lion King 5, 6. Like, it's not gonna work.
So we're gonna see Lion King 2 in live action?
I don't think so. I think the live action.
Bambi?
I think the live action is no. I think that would be way too controversial.
But 101 Dalmatians had a live action.
Yeah, they had a live action
that was
too.
That was like a minute ago.
But I mean, Mary Poppins came out this year too. Sorry, but it's like a lot of. It's just a lot of things that I just saw coming, like. Especially if the company itself already transformed into live action. It's like, if you're not going to think of any new ideas, you might as well just put it with people. And it's another way to get actors to get checks.
Okay. Okay, hold on. Don't answer that. Don't answer that question.
Okay.
How do you feel about Sonic?
How do I feel about Sonic?
How do you feel about the Sonic trailer? Do you think it's going to be a good movie? Do you think... Well, let me finish asking my questions.
Okay.
Do you think it's going to be a good movie? Are you ready for a skinny Dr. Robotnik? Mm-hmm. Do you think Sonic really looks like Sonic, or is he looking like a Sonic pedophile? Go.
Okay. So... I think the movie's going to be terrible. But...
You're gonna go see it?
No.
I'm gonna go see it.
No, I don't know if I'm gonna pay to go see it.
Not in AMC. I'm gonna go to Union Theaters. $10.
So I think the movie. I think
that matinee.
I think the movie's gonna be bad because I think it's gonna be forcing itself to be something that it isn't, and that's like
Detective Pikachu is another live action movie.
Detective Pikachu. I'm actually going to go see. I will spend money.
Pikachu looks cute.
I will give the Pokemon. I will give.
It's crazy that I'm sorry, John, to cut you off. But
it's okay. You've only done it 3 times this episode.
It's crazy that because you be long-winded, nigga.
I didn't even say anything this time.
It's crazy that they can make Pikachu look the way he looks, and they couldn't do the same shit for Sonic.
Yeah, because you got the wrong company. Paramount's not the company for that. They're not the company for that. I mean, Sega's already reported that they're losing a shit ton of money. That came out like yesterday or today or something like that. Yeah. So that's So they're doing a lot. They're releasing like one of those little mini consoles too, trying to like make some money. Yeah,
that's just not coming out till November, and they're already showing.
Yeah, so basically, I think
I'm not even ready for this.
I think the movie's gonna suck, but I think the movie's gonna suck because they're gonna try to make it something that it isn't, and they're gonna try to pass it off like it was something that they took care of and that they paid attention to, but they didn't. They were defending the images of Sonic before they even released the trailer because fans didn't like what the hell the promotional poster looked like, and they said that they spent hours with a team of designers that was trying to make Sonic look as realistic as he could possibly look to fit the mood of the movie. Right. They failed dramatically. He doesn't need to look like a human hedgehog. He just needs to look like a hedgehog.
Fucking hedgehog.
And
someone on Twitter was able to make him
look like Sonic. Yeah, I saw those images, and those fan-made images look way better than this expensive design team that Sega and Paramount spent money on. And it's just I don't know.
How do we feel about Jim Carrey?
I was gonna say Robotnik. Yeah. I love Jim Carrey actually as Robotnik.
I saw the scene with him. that was actually pretty funny.
Yeah, like I know that he's gonna be the reason why this movie makes me laugh. It's just the parts that Jim Carrey's in. But I think that this movie spits in the face of real Sega fans. Like, I'm a real Sega fan. I still have a Sega Genesis hooked up to a TV in my house.
I don't even know what my mom did to my Sega Genesis.
So that's a gaming system that I still play from time to time. Like, I'm a big fan of Sega, and I like Sonic. I thought Sonic was a cool game. But it spits in the fans of real Sonic fans, because everything about this trailer was catered toward 90s kids. It was catered toward our generation. Fact. Why the fuck is Sonic running to Coolio's Gangsta's Paradise? That's number one, right? Gangsta's Paradise.
Wait, time out. Hold on. I have to dap you up. That was the first thing I fucking thought of.
There we go.
I'm not gonna lie, bro.
Living in a gangster's paradise.
Why the fuck is he's running to Gangsta's?
So Gangsta's Paradise, a hit song that comes out in the 90s. We got Jim Carrey, an actor that's known for his comedy in the 90s, and we have Sonic, a video game character that gained his fame from the 90s as a Sega Genesis exclusive game that you could buy. So we have everything geared towards our generation, but it's supposed to be kid friendly. I get it, but there's nothing about this movie that looks like it would cater to the people that actually bought these Sonic games throughout the years.
But I feel you. I think it's for the younger generation, bro. I don't think it's for us. I agree with you.
That's cool. So then why is Coolio the theme song? Why is Jim Carrey Dr. Robotnik? Obviously, they're trying to gain interest from that group, from that demographic. Because marketing goes deeper than posters.
They want us to waste our money.
Exactly. That's why I'm saying, like, it's not done well enough. If you want me to waste my money, because I have no problem wasting my money. I love going to fucking movies. Shit. Yes, I will spend all all of my money. Really, as much as Avengers has gotten my money, Sonic could have gotten the same amount from me.
Avengers like 30 times already.
So there's no.
I don't know how he got the tickets, because they've been sold out everywhere.
there's no reason why Sonic has to look this terrible. He looks like a child in a onesie.
He looks so nasty.
He looks like a child in a onesie.
It was bad. Shout out to Jersey.
He can't outrun the tranquilizer dart in the beginning of the trailer, but he could outrun the millions of missiles that Robotnik had fired at that moment. They're just gonna copy the X-Men and have him stare at bullets like, that's nice. I'm gonna tie my shoes, go for a run, come back. No, I don't know.
This is partially the reason why I'm a firm believer that video games don't need to be made. Today. I think video games don't need to be made into movies. I don't think they need to be made into TV shows. Nothing. I feel like video games themselves are stories. Leave them in the video game. I feel like, when you're dealing with video games, people get invested into these characters because they're in the video game.
Not just the people who grew up on these characters.
Exactly. So like Sonic, Mario, Donkey Kong, Pokemon.
Yo, if they make a Mario live action movie,
they've done it in the 80s.
They did it already.
No, I'm talking about now.
Oh, now? No. Nintendo will never. Nintendo would never.
Keep it that way.
I just think
Nintendo would never. The only reason why we got Pokemon is because Pokemon's its own company. They have an exclusive partnership with Nintendo. So their games only come out on Nintendo hardware. Right. But the Pokemon company is its own entity. That's why we're getting Detective Pikachu. But Nintendo would never, ever do anything like that.
Ryan Reynolds is fucking.
Ryan Reynolds is gonna destroy that whole movies.
I love Ryan Reynolds.
He should comedy scene. Shit like that, like where it's he's in either a comic book or cartoon or something, because he has the voice. He's got
the personality for it. Yeah, that's perfect. That's a perfect description.
I just don't think that they need to be translated into movies. You already have all of these fans who are so invested in the stories themselves, and then when you have multiple installments of these games, like, why do you need to translate that into a TV show? You're already waiting for the next game to come out. Why do you need the movie and the TV show on top of that? Especially, one, if you're not going to put it up to par with the video game. Yeah. And if it starts to pander to certain audiences, like you were saying, like, if you're going to have something that's good, that you want to have cater to the people who actually grew up with Sonic, and to cater to the children who might not know who Sonic is, but you want to have them learn about it, or just have a video
exposure. Absolutely. It's marketing.
Character. You can do that without trying to pander to both audiences so hard. Like, the whole,
But Hollywood executives don't understand that shit. They just the guy. You know that there's a problem when one of the co-creators of Sonic, one of the guys that helped create this motherfucker in the first place, said that he wasn't included in anything, and he even reached out to the production company and said, "I would like to be an extra in the movie. Can I be an extra in this movie? I only made the motherfucking character in this movie. Can I be an extra? Can I be buying coffee?" Like,
John, lower your voice.
It's an issue.
You're clipping, bro. Relax.
It's an issue. On the mic. It's an issue if the person who created or had a part in creating the character is not a part of anything that has to do with.
You're doing something wrong. You're doing something wrong.
It makes no sense.
You're doing something wrong.
How are you going to
let him be in the movie
about something?
He tried to Stan Lee himself.
Not even.
He tried to, but they didn't let him.
He didn't even want like a scene with lines or anything. He just wanted to be an extra in the movie, just
Stan
because.
Lee was an extra in Mad
Stan Lee,
movies.
yeah, but he had lines. You know what I'm saying? Like,
or he would say, "Whoa, there goes Spider-Man. Whoa, there goes."
But then again, the thing that makes that work is that everybody's
Black Panther's really black. Like,
but everybody's looking.
He didn't say any of that in any movie.
Bro, I was so sick when I didn't. Was he? He didn't have a cameo in.
Yes, he did.
Yeah,
he was in Jersey. He was in New Jersey in the 70s.
Jersey was.
Yeah, they went to New Jersey. You messed up.
I'm gonna watch it again when it comes out.
They messed up. By the way, they had a modern day New Jersey license plate, the yellow license plate. On that car, they were blue in the 70s. They were blue. They were not yellow.
They were so uglier.
They were blue. They were baby blue with white lettering on them.
If you're wondering why,
they were baby blue. They were baby blue license plates. What do you want me to do about it? Just get over it.
They could have just been blue.
Get over it. Oh, get over yourself and your woes.
All right.
You know this nigga had 2 shots of me telling me to get over myself.
Anyway,
this game, this movie doesn't need to.
All right, I wanted to just. What, you have one more thing about?
No. I wanted to answer a different question that you asked earlier. You were asking about how we feel about cartoons being made into live action and all that other stuff.
She answered, so make it quick.
Yikes!
Thanks,
bro. We're like 45 minutes in.
Nah, it's cool. It's cool. I just feel like everything's going into hyper realism. Mm-hmm. So even if you look at video games, they're trying to make everything look hyper realistic, and we're going into the next generation of video game consoles, and that's going to be more realistic. I think that everything across the board, not just movies, are going to transition into stuff like that. We'll still have animation, but just it doesn't do the same, I guess, for newer audiences when we have the technology to make anything look like it's right like it's next
real.
To you. Yeah. And
except for some.
I might see this movie, by the way.
Yeah,
John Wick 3.
I'm definitely going to see.
I gotta
John
see
Wick.
1 and 2 though, but I might see 3.
It's worth it, and I actually recommend that you watch the first 2 before you go.
I might have to watch them
and watch this.
All right, so let's keep on shows and movies and stuff. So there are like a couple new docs that are coming out. One that I want to see, I might have to get a Showtime subscription for this.
Which is that?
The Wu-Tang documentary.
It's a Showtime documentary?
I think it's on Showtime.
Interesting.
Yeah. I might have to see that. There's mad documentaries that I want to watch. I want to watch the Teddy Pendergrass one. I want to watch the Michael Jackson one, even though they took it down. I want to watch it just...
Where's the Teddy Pendergrass one?
It's on HBO.
Streaming HBO?
Yeah.
I have access to HBO at the moment.
All right, yeah. Send me your password.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't have a password. I have access.
No, but if you have access, that means you have a password.
Not necessarily.
No. But in my story, it does.
Okay, cool. I guess. And
that's when you don't get the password.
Exactly.
But yeah, so the Wu-Tang doc is coming out, and also the Central Park 5 documentary. So I mean, I'm not gonna talk too much about the Wu-Tang documentary because I don't know.
I mean, it's about Wu-Tang.
It's about Wu-Tang. So it's not too much, but the Central Park documentary is actually a big deal because I remember being young and like listening to Hot 97 when they were talking about what happened in Central Park, and I remember number 45 Donald Trump also condemning those 5 boys, young men, saying that they. What were they accused of?
Raping this white
woman in the park.
Yeah. So I mean, I remember listening to High 97 talking about this stuff. I remember all these things. So I just
I don't actually.
You don't remember anything?
No,
about this?
I was talking to a customer earlier today actually about it.
Excuse me.
Because I have a customer that he actually like checks in on like what we talk about on the podcast.
Wonderful. Shout out to him.
Well, what's his name?
Drake.
Drake?
Yeah.
Shout out to
That's his name. No, it's
like Aubrey.
Not like I guess like Aubrey, but
all right, Aubrey Senior. Shout out to you,
Shout
man.
out to Drake.
I mean, I wanna at some point I'm gonna look for it again. But he's got a website where he sells like clothing and stuff. I wanted to give him a shout out because he's been always inquisitive about what we do on the podcast. So
shout out to you, Drake.
I was talking to him and he was reminding me about those events because he was like this happened and that happened because he was educating me because I almost didn't remember any details about that because I was telling him that you guys had mentioned it but I didn't know anything about the Central Park incident. Mm-hmm. So the information I have is what he refreshed me on. Mm-hmm. So I would actually be interested in watching this documentary to kind of learn about what happened and see how much information they've gathered since. But I mean, where can we watch this documentary? Where is this coming out?
It's gonna be on. Yeah, it's gonna be on Netflix.
It's a Netflix documentary.
Yes, it's gonna be called When They See Us.
When They See Us.
Yeah, it's about. Wait, what?
Is there like a release date for this, or is it already available for streaming? Like,
I want to say that it's coming out in August.
No, it's May 31st.
Damn.
Oh, the end of the month. Okay, so we don't have to wait too long.
It won't be too long. So basically, it's about the series documents the Central Park jogger case from 1989, in which a 28-year-old woman, female jogger, was attacked and raped in Central Park, and she was leaving her home in a coma. She was left in a coma for 12 days. 5 juveniles, 4 African Americans, and 1 Hispanic were convicted of this crime by juries in 2 separate trials in 1990, and their convictions weren't vacated until 2002.
Wow.
So yeah. I didn't know this shit was started in 1990.
Were they released?
1989 though.
Were they released from?
Yeah. They were because the convictions were vacated.
Okay.
So
they sued the city of New York for.
They spent 12 years in jail.
That's wild.
I forgot what they sued for, but I think they got in total between them maybe like $7 million. I think between the 5 of them, I want to say.
So the city settled.
Yeah.
The city settled with them.
And I think it was whoever this new governor is that had something to do with their settlement. Like he was the one that was like, all right, like we need to give these people their money because this was like extremely unjust. And the thing about the Central Park 5 case is it's not just these 5 boys that were accused of things. I think they were saying it was around like 100 kids who were running through Central Park, whether it was vandalizing, assaulting people, apparently raping people. It was a whole bunch of things, but it was the 5 people who were accused of raping this woman. And like they said, they were
George Pataki.
Who was that?
He was the governor in 2002.
Okay.
When the things got a
yeah. So the thing that is relevant about this case is that Donald Trump had a lot to do with it.
Yeah.
In what way?
He was basically calling for their heads.
Yeah, like publicly in NYC newspapers, condemning them.
On TV.
This was radio. While this was happening, or this is now?
This was while the appeals were going on because they were.
Him being regular schmegular Donald Trump.
He wasn't regular schmegular, but yeah.
I mean, just regular Donald Trump at the time. Just
he wasn't
not President Donald Trump. Just regular ass Donald Trump.
Facts.
Mm-hmm.
Just decided to insert his fucking opinions.
Because remember, at the time he was in the housing sector. So also, which goes into the point where Donald Trump himself, bless you, was also in hot water because he was under, bless you, his own.
Thank you.
his own case. I don't think it was at the time, but probably like a little before that, when he was under fire for not allowing people of color to be tenants in his apartments. So he was having his whole thing. So it was.
Why does none of that surprise?
Well, it was his father, but yeah.
It was just very.
Yo, Donald Trump has done a lot
calling
of
the kettle black.
shady. This nigga, he has done a lot of shady shit, bro.
His whole life, actually.
He basically took all his father's wealth.
A small loan of $7 million.
No, but
I thought it was a small loan of $1 million.
It was a small loan of $250,000.
No, I thought it was a whole $1 million.
Regardless, it's not a small.
It's not a small loan, regardless.
We're saying small in air quotes, obviously, but
he has taken, like, he forced his dad to sign over all his wealth to him.
Really?
Yeah, like like what they say in Forbes, how much he's worth. It's not really
his father.
It's not really what he's worth.
A lot of it has to do with his father's wealth.
Yeah.
I mean, granted, we're not saying that he don't make anything, because clearly he does. But a lot of the things that we know Trump for, like the Trump Taj Mahal and Trump Casino,
all of his failures, his bankruptcies and his failures, everything, his fucking stakes that never happened, his Trump University that never happened. He
signed them through his father, but he was never able to go through with the actual upkeep of all of them on his own.
No,
the nigga is a Billy McFarland. He just made it.
It's disgusting. And also, it's been about 2 years since Fire Fest, which is fucking hilarious.
But okay, so I think we got maybe a couple more things to talk about. We could talk about new music.
New music.
Any new music that we've enjoyed or that we don't like that has recently come out.
We talked about Anderson .Paak.
We mentioned it the last podcast episode.
We did mention it, but we didn't really get into, we didn't really talk about it. Did anybody listen to the album?
I did.
To Anderson .Paak?
Yeah. Okay,
yes.
I did.
Keep it brief. What did you think?
I think it was cool. I think that I feel like he tried to cater to hip hop and R&B listeners by choosing the features that he did. I feel like some of them weren't
Uncle Charlie Wilson was on there, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Andre 3000 was on there.
Yes.
So
yes, it was.
A lot of, I just think that the choice in the features were I'm gonna get them with the features, because when you see features that can draw you in on its own, right. Especially if they're names that you yourself are fans of. I know that on an album, if I say featuring Jay-Z, I'm gonna listen to the song.
Hey, the greatest rapper of all time. Hey,
so
Hovey baby.
I feel like just the list of the feature themselves.
Man, it's your boy in the building.
Man, come on.
Sorry, I had to say it.
But if I were to give the album a ranking, I'd probably say maybe a 7.
Ooh, that's low.
Cool.
You listen to
Anderson .Paak?
Yeah, sorry, I couldn't.
Yeah, no, I thoroughly enjoyed. Thoroughly enjoyed. Yeah, I listened to it quite a lot after it came out. I'm really into neo soul and kind of jazzy type of vibes nowadays. You're welcome. Yeah, thank you. I said that on the last episode. How many times do you want me to thank you for your music selection? Every time. Jesus, you're needy. So, I really enjoyed it. I think it's cool where I can listen to music that my daughter ends up catching on to.
Oh, Layla?
Yeah, there's one song in there that I tend to sing when I'm driving sometimes, and she catches the vibe off of when I think a song is good, and she'll just sing it out of nowhere. So as a 3-year-old, I think that's pretty cool. If you make a song that can make a child that barely understands what music is at the moment enjoy it and sing along to it, I think that's cool.
What's your rating?
If we're doing 1 out of 10, I definitely give it.
I think that's the only American rating we're doing.
Okay, cool. So if we're gonna do 1 out of 10, I'm gonna go ahead and give it an 8.5.
8.5?
Yeah, 8.5.
Okay, I personally didn't really like it. I might have to listen to it again, because I'm hearing rave ratings about it.
From me? How many rave ratings are you hearing?
It's not only you. It's Bris as well. Yeah, but you enjoyed it. That's what you said.
It was cool.
Yeah, you said you didn't enjoy it the last time.
I didn't enjoy it at all. I didn't enjoy the first one. The last one with Dre, I didn't enjoy this one too much. I think, sometimes, I don't know.
Just light one up and listen to that one, bro.
I might have to. That's what I'm saying. I might have to listen to it again, and I'll come back and say what I feel. So I'm gonna reserve my rating.
I did you that favor. I lit one
it.
up and listened to what I listened to, and I gave you my honest opinion on it. It was you.
Me?
Yeah.
Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? Like I gave you the sober, and I gave you the under the influence.
No, that under the influence, it kind of sounded crazy under the influence.
Yeah. No, it was dope. I thoroughly enjoyed that joint.
Okay,
you have to plug it at the end of the episode, not now.
No, for sure. I don't even remember what song you're talking about, to be honest with you. But we'll talk later. So Schoolboy came out.
Yes, Schoolboy did come
Bris
out.
Didn't listen to Schoolboy.
You didn't get a chance to hear Schoolboy. Before we even talk about our opinions on it, do you enjoy listening to Schoolboy?
I do.
As a whole.
Yeah, of course.
Okay, so
I just didn't get around to it because I got shit to do.
No, which is understandable. But I wanted to know: do you consider yourself a Schoolboy fan, or do you just enjoy Schoolboy as an artist?
I would say that I would be inching towards being a fan, but I'm more of a casual
listener. Okay, cool. Would you say you're a fan or a casual listener?
I'm a fan.
Mac, you're a fan? All right, I'm a casual listener. I do enjoy Schoolboy Q. Like if somebody says Schoolboy Q, cool. That's Q in like how many languages? Cool. So if somebody says his name, I'd be like, all right, cool. I'm in for something dope.
Right.
But I don't think he's like a go-to artist for me. I'm not like searching for Schoolboy like that. But I will enjoy it if I happen to hear it.
Right.
And yeah, and I'll just leave it at that before we get into our album dissection. So you listened to it, the whole thing?
I listened to it a couple times.
How many? Okay, I was gonna say how many times did you listen to it?
A couple times. I feel like I can give a real. I'm not gonna deep dive into it, but I'll just say I didn't really like it. I think this is one of his worst albums.
And
I know what I said.
Are you able to give me like legitimate reasons why you believe this is a bad project?
Yeah.
What about the album you didn't like?
I think it was. I don't know. I think he was trying to appeal to another audience that wasn't me.
And what audience would that be?
Schoolboy. He was trying to do the mumble rap a little bit. I think for some of the songs.
Okay.
That Travis Scott song was unneeded. I think.
That's one of my favorite songs actually on the album.
I can imagine. It's catchy. I'm not gonna lie, because chopsticks, that's catchy. Fine. But I usually go for Schoolboy Q as someone who has, who can do the mumble rap shit, but has substance.
Yeah.
And I feel like he didn't have enough substance on this album. Not that there weren't little lights showing.
Yeah.
Like Tails.
Okay.
He was definitely showing some of it. Crash was another good song, and I know there were a couple others that I can't name off the top of my head, but I think he was just trying to go for a different audience. He wasn't really. That album wasn't for me, which is cool. I think it was more for the mainstream, and for him to get a Grammy, or for him to get critical acclaim.
Some type of notoriety.
Yeah, like with the kids and stuff, which is fine. I'm not even mad at it that I didn't like it, because I know that Schoolboy, even if I didn't like it, I know that Schoolboy is still good, and I'll probably catch myself singing some of those songs later in the year. You know.
But your first impression is negative.
First impression, no. I mean, when I first heard Num Num Juice with Ya, I didn't really like it. I heard it a couple times. It's okay, but that's not gonna be the first thing that's playing out of the Serato, No,
I feel you.
But yeah, if I were to rate it, I would give it maybe a 7, 6.5.
I was gonna say 7 sounds generous if you didn't like it. 6.5 sounds generous if you didn't like it. I feel like you're trying to be nice by rating it that. If you didn't like it, you could be honest about it. I mean, my opinion is the opposite. I mean, like I like Schoolboy. I think like every time I hear Schoolboy Q's name, I think of Hands on the Wheel.
Hands on the Wheel, some early work.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like that's just what comes to my mind. And I feel like the vibe is dope when I listen to Schoolboy. So because I always feel like the vibe is dope, I did not mind listening to some of this mind-numbing, like trap style rap, but that had a person that actually knows how to rhyme do it. And I fucks with like the melodies and the tones. I thought Chopsticks was really dope. I thought the features on this album were great. I liked listening to Black on Drunk.
That song was pretty good. And
Ty Dolla Sign on Lies. That was dope.
Too, yeah.
I really enjoyed 21 Savage on Floating. I didn't even realize that Kid Cudi was on Dangerous. I guess because I was just
that nigga was humming his life away. Humming his life away.
There was just so much about this album that I could find myself enjoying. This isn't an album that I'm going to put on when I want something that's gonna kind of stimulate, like, me in like a thinking mode or me in a creative mode. I think it's like it was definitely fly to cut hair to all day, because I gave it quite a few listens to throughout the day, and I definitely rocked out real nice.
I didn't like
this
that
album.
Water song with Lil Baby. I'm not gonna lie.
I'll re-listen to it and tell you if I remember.
And that 21 Savage song
good.
was alright too.
21 Savage was fun. There was just, I don't know, I had a good time listening to it. I heard a lot of people didn't like this album before I listened to it. I knew that that's what a lot of people were saying. But I didn't agree. Like, I like this album. Like, I'm one of those people that thought Starboy was a good album, and people think that that's The Weeknd's worst album because it's his most commercial album.
That shit might be his best album.
I like that album a lot, but that
shit might be his best.
I feel like this is Schoolboy's Starboy.
I see your face, Chris. Bris. I see your face. No, she doesn't like the fact that I said that might be his best album, obviously.
Okay, cool. We can argue about The Weeknd later.
That shit reminded me of like an underground New York City rave, like the entire album.
I loved it.
Tell me what you think.
I absolutely loved it.
And I was like, all right, I don't even want to be here.
6 feet under, she gon' get the fucking paper. 6 feet under, she gon' get the fucking paper.
The one before that was okay, but Kissland
was okay.
That shit was terrible.
Kissland was okay.
And niggas will argue me that Kissland was terrible. Oh my god. No, that shit was.
Those are the people that can't even name 5 songs off Kissland. Because I know I can't. I can't.
She belongs to the world.
That's
and Kissland.
That's a good one.
And Kissland. That's it.
There's another one from Kissland that I know I really like, but I can't remember the name. I can't remember the name at the moment.
So, does anybody listen to Rico Nasty?
No.
You heard the album?
Yes, I did.
How did you feel about it? You loved it?
It's Rico.
Why didn't I get this as a recommendation?
I don't think you'd like it.
Well, okay. So,
I didn't really like it.
So fill me in. What genre are we talking about? I don't know this artist.
She's a rapper.
It's a female rapper. Okay, cool.
Wait, time out. Before we go to Rico, have you listened to Megan yet?
No.
Okay,
I'm sorry.
We can't even stand correctly.
Yeah, no, dead ass. Dead ass.
You want me to lie?
No, but nigga, I want to step. Yeah, I want to get on.
So send me links. Just send me links.
Listen to Tina Snow. Listen to Houston Freestyle.
Well, Tina,
put it in the chat.
It's in the chat.
No, put it again. Put it again. I'll listen to it on the ride home. Jesus.
Well, I have a question. As far as female rappers go, like if you were to put your enjoyment factor at a female artist, like female rappers, who would you say you enjoy?
Cardi.
That's it.
You
at the moment.
You like
at the moment. At the moment, I really enjoy listening to Cardi. I haven't heard
in history.
Oh, like all together.
Wait, tell me, but you'd like Megan if you like Cardi. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
I believe I would.
They talk the same shit.
I believe I would like her music.
But Megan can rap.
Yeah,
can actually rap.
And I believe you. I'm upset at myself that I haven't listened to the music yet.
Not just like Cardi because she's very talented in what she does.
She also has writers and she's open about it. We know that. Nobody cares.
I don't care about that shit anymore. As long as she's not calling herself the best rapper alive, I don't care.
She doesn't.
But now Megan, on the other hand, she actually has bars. She's nice.
I'm looking forward to it. Can you guys please put some links in the group chat and I will listen.
To go back to the original question, like outside of just Cardi, who would you say female rapper wise you enjoy?
Female rapper wise,
if anybody, and you could be completely honest.
I mean, yeah, Lauryn Hill, but it's hard to say. It's really hard to say. I never really went out of my way to listen to like Lil' Kim or listen to like The Brat Remy or listen to like Remy. I like Remy. We can go with Remy. Because I was into Terror Squad at one point. I was really into like Fat Joe, and I obviously like I enjoyed Big Pun, and Remy Ma was a part of Terror Squad and all that stuff.
It's just that Rico is a very like non-orthodox rapper. Like she sounds
define unorthodox.
Bro, she be screaming.
She's like a screamer.
Like XXX Tentacion type screamo.
Yeah, kinda.
I don't listen to him, so I don't.
No, yeah.
You know his screamo tracks that he's got thrown in between his soft melodies.
Like he's not like a regular rap who just speaks loudly. Like he.
No.
She's a screamer.
Yeah,
literally almost.
Yeah, almost. Yeah,
but it works for her.
She has a song.
Okay. How old is this girl?
Maybe 22.
She's young. She's really young.
She got beef with Azalea Banks right now.
Every person in the industry
has beef with Azalea Banks.
But she has a song on there. It's called, I forgot what the name of the song is called. But it's the Dirt Off Your Shoulders beat.
Okay.
That shit, she bodied that shit. These bitches be hating on her. That shit is, she went nuts on that shit. Yeah,
link, please.
I got you.
Link, please. Yes, links. Links.
Very different.
I think that's all the new music I have.
That's interesting.
Is anybody coming out soon? Anybody's?
Who should I be on the lookout?
Wait, time out. Well, you heard I know you heard the Beyonce album. Bro, why did anybody tell me that she did Before I Let Go? Nobody told me that.
Because you have to go listen to it.
No, but you're supposed to tell me.
It's nobody's responsibility.
I'm not a Beyonce fan.
I'm not a Beyonce fan either.
So she bodied that shit, bro.
Links,
Before I Let
links,
Go,
please, links.
So, first of all...
Or at least just text the name of the song in the group chat.
So, first of all, for those uncultured humans who don't know what Before I Let Go is, Before I Let Go is a staple...
I'm so sorry.
Staple in black culture, black cookout, black family get-together, black everything.
Staple.
Yeah.
How new is this song?
It's 70s?
Before I Let Go is from the 70s.
Okay. All right. No, because
the Beyonce one just came out like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, okay. I thought we were talking about something completely original. I didn't know this was a remake to an old song.
She redid it, and she did.
So then I probably know the song if I hear it.
It was produced by Tay Keith.
Yeah, Tay Keith.
And she did Before I Let Go with also a sample with Candy by Cameo.
Yes.
Okay.
That just works. It works.
Okay.
Like I have like
link, please.
Especially when you're dealing with songs that are so beloved already, like it's very hard for even people like as beloved as Beyonce to redo a song and be like, it's not as good as the original. Blah blah blah. This one works.
Okay.
It works.
Okay.
And it has I
take your word for it.
The new vibe to it. It has its little line dance that everybody is making videos of on Instagram now. So it just works. It sounds very good. If you haven't listened to the Beachella live album, it's amazing to work out to.
That's funny.
It's amazing to work out to. It's pretty long. It is 40 tracks, but it's encompassing her whole entire career in a 2-hour concert. So 40 songs isn't exactly too hard to believe. And it's 40 tracks. Some of them are maybe like 30 seconds.
Yeah, I bet.
It works. It's great. It's what it is. Taylor Swift could never.
Taylor Swift could never.
And
somebody said that Taylor Swift is one of the greatest writers of our generation.
Don't knock Tay-Tay.
I'm not gonna hold you. The girl could write, but
the girl could write.
She could write, but I feel like she just should have stuck to her roots. She should have stuck to being a little country bumpkin with her little guitar with with cowboy boots. And
what is she doing differently now?
She's trying to. She's
trying to be like a She had a whole album called Rebellion, I think. Right? That was
some shit like that.
Rebellion.
I against you.
I don't go searching for Tay-Tay, so I don't know.
The Rebel. I'm pretty sure it was
Upon the Rebel.
Upon the Rebel.
It's just she's trying to be like the everybody's against me character.
For what? When everybody loves you. Okay, Clueless. Yeah, I get it. All right.
Oh, it was called Reputation.
But I saw because Well, it's a little dated, but the Billboard Music Awards happened. From when you guys are hearing this, it happened on April 30th. So she was the opening act of the show, and she opened up with a band and was trying to do this whole.
We're talking about Taylor Swift.
Yeah, and it was very not reminiscent, but it was very like replicated of what Beyonce did with her Coachella set. And the memes behind it, if you guys need a funny hashtag to look up Mayo-Chella. So like the condiment mayo. Oh my
God, is that what that is? Because I definitely saw that hashtag. I was like, what the fuck is Mayo-Chella? I was like, what is this?
The funniest tweet that I saw from that, obviously Beyonce has a song called Formation. Okay, ladies, now let's get in formation. They had Taylor Swift's thing, and it said, "Okay, ladies, now let's birth of a nation." That should not be funny. Like, in the slightest, it shouldn't be funny, but that's
wild. Have either of you ever watched Birth of a Nation?
I have, and that's why it should not be funny. It should not be funny. But if you know,
I mean, did anybody let her know that that's a thing? Like, did nobody?
Oh my God! No, bro, it's a meme.
Oh yeah, it's a meme.
I'm over here like, did she really say this? Did this really happen?
Could you imagine that's her next tour?
Oh my God.
Oh my God. Yo, I was sweating just now.
No.
I was just like, oh, the internet's gonna destroy Taylor Swift.
Have been ended. Like, no.
That is disgusting.
Oh my God.
Oh man.
Okay.
That's funny. I mean, thank you for educating me on that. That was hilarious. Mayo-Chella. That's too funny.
Or Diet Lemonade.
Diet Lemon. I'm so done. I'm done.
Diet Lemonade.
I'm done. Done.
Diet Lemonade.
Stick a fork in me. I'm done.
I think stick a. What the fuck is wrong with this nigga?
Nothing.
Stick a fork in me.
It's a saying. You've never heard that before?
Stick a fork in me.
I'm done.
I think for the most part,
it's a cooking reference.
I think for the most part we're done. I don't have anything else that was really, I mean, Tiger Woods winning the Masters. Fuck Tiger Woods.
Jeez.
Yeah, no, fuck Tiger. Bro.
I mean, he's not a great.
We gotta recap our song suggestions from last week.
I haven't forgotten about that.
Good.
R.I.P. John Singleton.
Yeah, man. That really sucked.
Now this just gives another excuse for BET to play Baby Boy like
every hour on the hour.
I've not seen that movie.
If there's any movie that I hate, it's Baby Boy.
I love Baby Boy. I hate watching it as much as BET plays it, but I love Baby Boy.
Starts out with a full-grown Tyrese in the room.
How you gonna
a full-grown Tyrese?
Oh my God.
It's funny.
Sports. So
it's symbolic. Jesus.
I have our
Bris.
Shut up. I have our playoff predictions right now. And so Bris said it's either gonna be the Bucks versus the Warriors or the Rockets. She's looking pretty. You gotta pick either Warriors or Rockets.
The Bucks and the Warriors.
Bucks and because of how the Rockets are doing right now. I feel you.
I'm going for.
So hold on. Chin was the Bucks and the Warriors.
Okay, well. Bucks and Warriors.
You were the Warriors in Toronto.
And the Six.
And Toronto was actually losing right now.
Damn.
In the first half.
Yeah, I haven't been keeping up.
It's a 1-1 series at the moment, but by the time
that this comes out, there will be how many games would have passed?
Probably maybe this one and another one.
Okay.
So who knows what it'll be?
So yeah, who knows? But so far you have the Warriors in Toronto, and I have the Bucks and the Warriors.
It sucks that we all have the Warriors.
Yeah, I don't see anybody else coming.
Yeah, I mean realistically,
but I am very, very, very excited to watch. The Portland and Denver series. That's a very good series that's going on right now.
Weren't those tickets like $17?
Nah, for real?
Yeah, because they were having a hard time actually getting people to watch. I forget which series it is. I think it's that one. I think it's Denver.
What happens when social media talk does not translate into actual support for these players.
That's crazy. I didn't know it was
all of the people that were on
tickets,
social media that were gassing up Damian Lillard when he hit that game winner against Paul George and Russell Westbrook. But I know that all of you, you don't live in Portland or you don't live in Denver, but For all of y'all that do, if y'all are listening to it, go buy those tickets, please. Support Damian Lillard. I like Damian Lillard. Go support Damian Lillard. Go watch Damian Lillard. Yeah, please actually watch that series. I know y'all might not like the Nuggets, but go watch Damian Lillard if y'all support Damian Lillard.
Yeah, I mean, I believe it's that series that they were talking about. I work in a barbershop, so they talk sports. They talk sports all day.
Out to Denver for that.
Yeah, $17 tickets. $17 tickets for playoffs.
That's mad disrespectful.
Because
shout out to the Denver Nuggets for actually getting to the second round. The last time they got this far was when Melo was there in 2005.
Sheesh.
So
it is a 1-1 series.
I love those nugget. I love those nugget colored Melos that came out around that time period. Those were. I
might be wrong in like when the last time they went to the league, but I know it's been a minute. It's been more than 10 years, or at least 10 years since the last time.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
They've gone to the second round of the playoffs. Liverpool lost yesterday.
Sorry, Chen.
Yeah, they lost 3-0. They got smacked.
By who? Who'd they play?
Barcelona. In the Champions League semifinals.
Sorry, Chen.
So they have to
were they eliminated or is there more games?
There's one more game. They play 2 legs. So there's 1 game away and 1 game home.
Okay.
The next game is home. So
that should be
we'll see.
Home
against Barcelona
in Liverpool.
They're gonna be in England, in Anfield. So we'll see how that goes. We'll report it here. They'll probably know who's gonna go to the final before us, but fuck it, we'll let them know anyway. I don't really have anything else for sports talk. The guy, we spoke about it in the group chat. The guy that got the second round pick in the NFL draft, I forgot his name.
I know who you're talking about.
Support him and not supporting the first pick.
Honestly, if I were the number 1, I don't care if Donald Trump.
Facts.
I wouldn't care about anything that related to Donald Trump. I'd be like, what else is new?
It's just I don't care. It's an attention grab.
Yeah, I don't. He looks number 2. He looks for anything to boost his his Google searches. Like you could just type Trump and get billions of search results. So.
Yeah, it's mostly it's all clickbait.
Speaking of that, it's something that doesn't have to do with sports, but something that does have to do with how blatantly racist he is. The Teacher of the Year award came out, and
I read about that
teacher. And normally the president is supposed to award that teacher with the
award,
and
Trump chose not to give it to him.
He chose not to do it.
Yo, man, listen up. 2020 is coming.
Vote for Bernie.
Buttigieg is out there.
For Bernie.
Buttigieg, whatever his name is, he's out there trying to get you. He's trying to be for the American people. Elizabeth Warren is out there trying to get your student loan debts cut.
Which I like.
Please, in November,
vote for Bernie.
In November, the primaries are coming up. Let's
vote for Bernie.
What's fucking happening? Shut up, John.
And vote for Bernie.
Shut up, John. Bernie's not winning shit.
Vote for my man Burn. Feel the goddamn burn. Damn it, feel the burn.
But don't vote for Donald Trump.
Vote for Bernie instead.
Biden has finally thrown his hat in the ring, and he's not having a problem.
I like Biden too.
He's going on stage. He can't even speak correctly. It's crazy, but still vote.
Vote for Bernie anyway.
All your. I think there's Andrew Yang. I think that's the Asian guy that's running as well.
That's cool, but he's not Bernie.
But listen, I'm trying to say his platform. What he's trying to do. He's trying to get us on some Norwegian shit, right? Where we would get a statement or whatever, where we would get like $1,000 a month from the government every month, every American citizen, which is dope. That's what they do in like the in Norway and all those other countries, but they do it because it's smaller, and they're trying to call them a socialist and all that sort of stuff. But you can look that up on your time. There's another lady that's running. I don't remember her name, but she's a bitch. Don't vote for her. Yeah. But
Kamala. Camilla.
Not Kamala. There's another white lady that likes throwing binders at people. I don't remember.
What?
Yeah, no, she threw a binder at one of her aides. Like.
I know who you're talking about. I know who you're talking about.
But yes, please pay attention.
You don't got to worry about her because you're gonna vote for Bernie.
I don't know who I'm voting for yet. Buttigieg looks kind of nice. Pause.
Bernie.
Actually, I wanted to ask you guys about that.
Bernard Sanders.
Shut up. We obviously feel the same way about having a gay person be our president. It doesn't matter as long as he's
I don't think it
As long as
matters
he's
at all.
qualified to do the fucking job, like
Qualifications are very small, actually, to be the president. As long as he, as long as
you're alive.
as long as he or she, like, is a decent human being and has the better interest of the country at heart when they're making decisions and doing things, then they can be president.
Missed that dunk, Embiid. Damn, Toronto's getting smacked.
Yeah.
It's over for you, John.
Shut up.
All right, so
I got faith
I don't
in
have
Kawhi.
anything else. I think we're done for the day.
Song choices from last week.
So who's gonna go first? Me? I'll go first. Fine.
Go first.
So I got a song from Bris.
You sure you got a song from Bris?
Yeah, it was from Bris. I know it's from Bris because Bris is the only person I'll be in love with.
I thought I had my song choice was from Bris.
Nah, it wasn't. Mine was from Bris. It was by JunglePussy, I think her name is.
yes, her name is
Wow.
JunglePussy.
What an artist
song
name.
It's called "I'm in Love with Your Nigga." That's not the name of the song, but that's
It's called I'm in Love.
"I'm in Love."
I'm in love. I was about to say, I would imagine it'd be I'm in love.
JunglePussy made a song called "I'm in Love," and it's a pretty good song. I bumped it a couple of times.
Does anybody
I don't really
know
have-
if the pussy's a jungle?
Probably Jungle Dick. He made it.
Tarzan over there.
Yeah, but it was a good song. I definitely enjoyed it. I played it like mad times on the highway.
On the highway.
Sure white people
What's
looking at me like,
what's the vibe? What can you compare it to?
oh, it's upbeat. I don't think I can really. I've never heard a song like that, to be honest.
Okay.
Not that I haven't heard a song like that, but I've just never heard like someone just be so open with being in love with another nigga. You know, that's basically, bro. The song starts out like, checking 1 2, I'm in love with your nigga. I don't give a fuck. I'm in love with your nigga. Pulling skids back to back with your nigga. I'm like, oh shit, she's in love with
Flaunting it.
Flaunting with your nigga. Took a Henny shot with your nigga. I'm like, damn, bitch, how many did you do with this nigga? With her nigga, you know? But it was a good song. I definitely thoroughly enjoyed it.
That's cool.
I would definitely recommend it if you're trying to be in love with a nigga. It's a song to listen to.
Cool. That's the song that you listen to.
All right, who's next?
I'll go next.
Yeah, you can go.
I don't know whose song I had, but I had Tadow by Masego. I wanted to ask.
Definitely.
I
Okay, no,
recommend.
definitely John's song. I definitely have heard the song prior to me.
Good.
Prior to me picking it. However, I didn't know that the name was called Tadow. Outside of the fact that he says it about 5 billion times in the song. And I didn't know that it was by Masego, who I've heard of before. The vibe is like jazz,
Super jazzy.
mixed with like
Trap R&B.
yeah R&B trap. Like
It's amazing.
it's a cool.
Oh, it's amazing.
a
It's
cool
amazing.
song
I
to
love that
vibe.
fucking song.
It's a very cool song to vibe to. I mean, I'm a fan of jazz music, so I like it. Like I do listen to jazz on my own time, especially jazz fusion.
Ooh,
So
we get along.
it's something that I enjoy. His voice is it's nice, you know. Especially when he gets into like his rapping thing, he sort of reminds me of like a Andre 3000 kind of thing going on a little bit. Not to say he sounds like him.
Yeah,
but
no,
the
it doesn't have
vibe
the same
that
cadence.
he goes along, like his cadence reminds me of him. And funny enough, that song was actually released on my birthday, so haha. And I mean, it's a cool song. Outside of the fact that he literally says the word maybe like 400 times, like it's if you love the saxophone, you'll love that song.
No. Love that song. Probably one of my favorite songs of that have recently come out. Was that one. So
Shut you up.
I had, and I'm guessing maybe you recommended this one, Mac.
song is it?
It was "What You Heard" by Sonder.
That was
No, it's definitely Chin.
That was Chin. I thought it was. I thought Bris had recommended this because she was like, "I love Sonder." Like when I had read it out loud.
Shout out to Brian.
Yeah, so I enjoy music like this. It's unfortunate that Chin's not here and I can't like talk to him about this song and why he chose it. But I enjoyed this kind of R&B. I was looking for more artists in this kind of category. I like songs that like I can listen to and then not realize that the song has changed to another part of that person's album.
Do you have a pen?
Do I have a pen? Yes, I do have a pen.
Okay, continue talking and hand me a pen, please. Sorry.
But yeah, no. So that one was pretty cool. It was smooth. It wasn't nothing too upbeat. It was very mellowed out. I enjoy like the softer tones. I don't think everything needs to be super crazy, super high octane. I'm more of a soft, easy listener. I enjoy the jazz stuff, hence my Masego recommendation.
It was literally like a jazz trap song.
Oh, it was amazing.
But don't take trap too literally. I'm not talking about like
no.
a bando trap. I'm talking about like just
hip-hop-ish. It's just kind of hip-hop-ish, but that.
But I mean, he considers himself like a trap house jazz artist, so
which sounds super weird on paper. Yeah, you saw that on paper, you'd be like, the fuck is that?
Yeah.
But it's genuinely really dope. That whole project, I don't know if you've ever listened to Masego like that, but his that whole project that he put out with that song on it is very interesting and worth a listen in my opinion.
Right.
And I don't have that vibe off of many artists where I can go back and listen to the entire project without skipping it and be content with what I heard.
Right.
And that's one of those projects where I could listen to that and be pretty happy with what I got from it.
What I do enjoy is that it seems like all of us, I mean, we don't know how Chin felt about Mac's song, but it seems like all of us enjoyed the songs that each other chose. It's very interesting that it turned out that way, and I'm not saying that, we expected it to be that way, because in this room we do have while we do have a lot of things that we like that are similar, there are different music tastes. There are artists that some people like and some people don't. There are sounds that some people like and some people don't. So it was nice to see that even if we tried to tap into different lanes, that we still enjoyed it. And considering that this is a new segment of ours, I'd like to see if our style, even our individual styles that we give out to other people, I would like to see if those change. Like, will John continue to give out songs that are like Masego? Will I continue to give out songs like JunglePussy or Sonder, or I forgot who you gave Mac to Chin, but
I don't even remember, to be honest with you.
Wow, that's very crazy. But I mean, we're about to actually hand out our new round of songs. And I'm very curious to see what everybody gets.
Oh yeah.
And more curious to see what everybody will think of all of these songs in the coming week whenever we record again. So we gonna get them now.
Yeah, microphone check 1 2. Who am I?
We're back.
Everyone's works.
Checked back in. Yeah.
Yeah, we're back. We had to take a quick break.
Hold on, John, shut up.
No.
I have to check my mic.
Thank you. You're good. All right, so we got everybody's song right here.
Everybody picked a song.
Everybody picked a songy song.
And you already know the deal. We all pick a song. We all wrote a song down on a piece of paper and we're putting it in a bag. We are now picking a song, and we have to go back and we have to listen to the song that we have picked out, and then the next time that we meet, we will be discussing how we feel about said song. If we get our own, we will put it back. I got my own, so I will put it back.
I got my own, so
gee, that means everybody got their own. So just put them back in the bag. And I'll jingle.
How do we all get our own?
Jingling, baby. Go ahead, babe.
Can we pick our own?
Jingling, baby.
I want to have choice over my own.
Choice.
Okay.
It'll be the same shit that I picked. Here you go. Choice. Niggas want choice. I'm in love with your nigga.
I
still got my same song. We switch. There you go.
Oh my god.
That's it. All right. Son of a bitch.
There you go. There you go. Enjoy that one.
So, just I guess say the song that you got. I don't know how to pronounce it.
Try your best, and I'll correct you.
Horchata Miami by Horchata No Cata. Donde está la biblioteca? Miami by Bad Bunny.
Okay.
Oh my god.
It's Otra Noche en Miami, which means another night in Miami.
How cute.
Otra Noche en Miami. You know what's crazy? I actually did Spanish 4, and I should be able to read this. What song did you get, Bris?
I got Peach by Kevin Abstract.
Okay. And what did you get, John?
I got Zora by Jamila Woods.
Oh, Jamila Woods is tough.
Yeah.
She's good. She's a good R&B.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. You guys know I love my R&B takes.
Yeah, no, you definitely enjoyed Jamila Woods. Okay, so we'll be back next episode, and I'll tell you about Otra Noches by Bad Bunny.
Otra Noche Miami. You're gonna like it. It's dope.
So yeah, Bris, take us out.
Thank you guys for listening to another episode of us babbling on. If you guys want to follow us, you can follow us on Twitter at Do Not Disturb Poe.
Facts.
Which might change.
We're still arguing about the Poe. Well, let us know. Let us know in the comments below. Do you guys like the Poe? Do you care about the Poe?
I care about it.
Poe was the best Teletubby.
Do not disturb Poe.
Poe was the best Teletubby.
Which color was that Teletubby? Move on.
Yeah, that's crazy. He was actually red. But
blood.
You can follow us on Instagram at Do Not Disturb Podcast. You can follow us on Facebook at the Do Not Disturb Podcast. You can subscribe to us on YouTube, Do Not Disturb Podcast. You can follow us on Apple Podcasts at the Do Not Disturb Podcast.
SoundCloud.
I did.
She did say YouTube.
You can find us on SoundCloud at, I think, DMD Podcast 1, I think.
That's the link. That's the...
You can follow our own social media pages that you can find once you get to those
all of said pages.
You can find us easily. I promise you can.
I'm there.
Thank you guys so much for listening to another episode. You guys be good, be great, and be humble. See you guys.
Sheesh.
Seasons. Yeah. Eating sour cream chips, sitting on my ass. Now I'm in the E-line, grab all attention like that motherfucking neon. 100 on the dash, about to get the money, you ain't even gotta ask. Masturbate twice a week, clear the head up. Don't you worry about the women, get the bread up. You not that fire, she not that important. 45 out of pocket like the skin orange. 6'3", 160, $150 to the fuck niggas who talk. If you get your bread or get your broad, they both in my line and they really wanna get involved. Get involved. Nigga on the road like Jack Kerouac. Be the generation when it comes to the raps. Lazy motherfucker with the tightest bench. John Steinbeck, I can see the mice in men. I don't really fuck with them type of friends. I'm never heartless, that shit type dumb. You say you got a circle with your day ones, plotting on your downfall, and you think that shit type fun. And then you see the fate like a wrestling fan. Now you in the Trans Am straight looking like a dumbass. Get through the bullshit to see what it is. Man, that shit suck like a Leah Hadid. Drew Watt cruising in that cinnamon Benz. California bungalow, cutest of friends. So that nice honey in that varsity jacket. Gave her a kiss, now she riding the bench. Passed the body Burke with his lady eating fruit. Even got his puppy in the Sean John suit. Mom kinda told me that she played me like a flute. Iron Man is free meals, not a strong suit. Yo, individual, whipping through the traffic. Looking for my sanity. Can it be? Mellow more higher than the canopy. And he smelling like a can of pee. I don't really ban the weed, I don't smoke it. Better than a cigarette, yes, keep toting. Spitting mad long so the world ain't focused.
Now Penny Hardaway will bring it across. Keith Askins picks him up at midcourt. Look at the concentration in Askins' eyes. Hardaway with the jumper. Well, it doesn't matter. Wow. My gracious. Penny Hardaway fills it up again.
Early in the morning, gotta thank God. Rolex on neighborhood watch. They see Nyles and they plot. 3 out of 12 still swerving up the block. What you gotta do is get off your ass. Know that boy homesick, but I gotta get to it. Get the world pride, keep the shit moving early in the morning. Gotta thank God. Rolex on neighborhood watch. They see Nyles and they plot. 3 out of 12 still swerving up the block. What you gotta do is get off your ass. Know that boy homesick, get off your ass. Yo. Verse shorter, made the hearse longer. She could be the easy rider like Peter Fonda. Send the green light, watch the hand go. Fuck your crew up, Mother Brando. Just another Porsche, haven't drove it lately. No bad grammar, it's the Rain Man, baby. Yellow with the horsepower, talk nice. Whip like Dick Tracy, driving down the turnpike. I'm still lazy, nonchalant, like I'm outside on the corner. Whoa, NJ, born and bred, motherfuckers on the street, pushing keys like an orgadorno. Whoa, cut mission to get it as far as I can see. Kinda like God's property. Obviously, I'm the illest one doing it. Machu Picchu, you the one that ruined it. Blue by all the new guys in the new five. If I was green, I would die. Let them live. New radical flow, sex your girl up, but she only gets what I get. Don't get up. LBI logo all up on the range truck. But a rock, had my lady deranged, but they only did the same thing, it's the same love. Hopping from flow to flow, it's like I'm in the clan. How I show a nigga the ropes is in the plan. If you really think it's a joke, I got the hands. I watch a nigga like I'm supposed to. Shit ain't the same, the ghetto's like tofu. I'll be the same now if that shit's old news. Hard of week season, that be the tape. Album gonna be dope, it'll be on your phone soon.